Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we already have almost 100 people out here ready to draft with us. Gonna be super exciting, but before we get into a draft, okay, we have a pretty big announcement here. Y'all know I've been talking about it for quite some time, but if you signed up for Underdog Fantasy to get in these drafts with us with promo code FLOCK, and if you're a member of flockfantasy.com, we just dropped that merch for y'all. Now, here's how you're going to get it. Go to the flockfantasy.com Discord, and in that Discord, you'll find a link to our Google form where essentially you'll go through and you'll, one, give me your email address so I can make sure I track everything on a spreadsheet. 2, oh my gosh, look at how devilishly handsome I am. 3, let me know. Yeah, I'm a member of flockfantasy.com. Here's my flockfantasy.com email address. Yeah, I use promo code FLOCK on Underdog Fantasy. Here's my Underdog Fantasy email address. Let me know what size t-shirt you would like, and then let me know what your address is. I'll be super happy to go through and send all that out for y'all. Now, that will be on the Flock Fantasy Discord. You can find that link to the Google form in the announcements tab. But that should be it, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have a ton of people out here. Thank you so much for everybody coming out and hanging out with us. ER7 says, you look like Tom Brady's long lost son. I saw something real quick that I had to address. So y'all know Pat McAfee, whatever the name is, he got bought out and is going to ESPN now. So of course, naturally, I'm hilarious, and I had to make a joke about ESPN buying Flock Fantasy and us going to ESPN. People thought I was being serious. Okay, y'all, come on. All I got said, I know how damn good I look in that Flock shirt, but how big time do you think we are? You think ESPN knows anything about Flock Fantasy? It was a joke, okay, ladies and gentlemen. It was a joke. Please do not think we're going to go off YouTube. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's see where we are drafting here. And so we are at pick 3. Let's go ahead and let's queue our guys up. We're just going to take whatever wide receiver falls to us. It'd be great to get Jefferson. It'd be great to get Jamar Chase. In reality, it's not happening. In reality, we're most likely taking Tyreek Hill here. Now with Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, they're pretty much identical to me. Now the difference that I'm going to have with them is I'm never really going to get Tyreek Hill later than Cooper Kupp. So, I mean, if I have the ability to take both, I probably should take Tyreek in a few spots, and knowing Kupp will fall to us a little later on in another draft. So, yeah, we've been taking a lot of Tyreek Hill here. But just in case you don't know what's going on, just in case, first off, Gallo's in this draft with us. Happy to see you. This is Underdog Fantasy. This is Best Ball Mania. This is a $25 buy-in. This is a $15 million prize pool. I mean, last year we got 16th place in Best Ball Mania. We ended up winning multiple high-stakes tournaments on Underdog, though, and ended up winning $150,000. Now, first prize, $3 million. Second, $1 million. They have some big regular season prizes as well, which I'm really excited about and which will change draft strategy just a bit. But these are going to be best ball drafts, so that means you don't submit your starting lineup during the season. You don't make waiver wire moves. It's the perfect place to get in some extra drafts, not replace the leagues that you're currently in. I mean, because it's best ball and no time commitment during the season, I was able to draft over 700 teams on Underdog last year. But yeah, in Underdog drafts, you have to start 3 wide receivers, and with it being best ball, it's going to slide wide receivers up draft board. So we are going to go ahead. We will take Tyreek Hill here at 3. But yeah, let me know who's in this draft with us, please. Everybody that is in this draft, spam the chat and let me know where you're picking at. I hope that I'm not next to too many of y'all. I know Tommy Knows is in there at 5. I know ER7 is in there at 4, which is a little tough for us, but let me know if we have anybody else here. Yeah, Dylan in there at 5. Pal 103. My friend, I'm at the 103. Jimmy saying he is at pick 6. Well, getting CMC at 6 is a little exciting. Gallows is at 2, so took Jamar Chase from us. Couldn't throw us a bone, my man. Really? You couldn't have taken Laquan Treadwell at pick 2 and allowing us to get Jamar Chase at 3? What the hell? What the hell? Gold Goose coming out says, light it up. Yeah, if y'all have not done so already, please go down there, drop a like on this live stream. And then, oh yeah, going back to what Underdog Fantasy is, if you want to get into drafts here, they're available pretty much everywhere. I mean, the states that are in black on this map, they are not available in, but if it's in yellow, if it's in gray, Y'all have Underdog Fantasy. You can get in a draft with us today. Sign up with promo code FLOCK. That way you get a 100% deposit match. Get my 2023 fantasy football rankings. And on top of it, if you're a member of flockfantasy.com and Underdog Fantasy and you sign up with promo code FLOCK, go fill out that Google form so I can get you some exclusive merch. And on top of that, we have another announcement coming next week where you're going to get additional Underdog credit in your account if you're a member of flockfantasy.com. Okay. Logo says, damn, they watching and sniping. Yeah, I mean, we're used to it by now. I mean, I feel like every draft we step into, people kind of know what we're trying to do. And Garrett Wilson falling to 17, this is the first time I've seen Garrett Wilson fall this far in quite some time. Like, I know it doesn't seem that crazy. Oh, yeah, you added on Bijan Robinson and Garrett Wilson out the gate. But in reality, I mean, it is difficult for the majority of people to go through and find a combo of that start. Usually you'll see Bijan going at like 6 or 7, and you'll see Garrett Wilson going at like 12 or 13. But Jalen Waddle goes 18. Jalen Hurts went 16. Olave off the board. I've been drafting a lot of Chris Olave, so looks like we will not be getting Olave. Higgins goes. Higgins was going to be our pick if he made it. What is ER7 doing here? Went Cup round 1. Who? I don't know what the right answer is. If T. Higgins was available, I would have taken T. Higgins. Do I go Mahomes? We'll take Smith. Obviously, we're reaching, but I've done a ton of these drafts. I think I have a good feel of the draft board, and I think we'll be able to figure it out. The thing is, if we pass on Smith here, we're just not going to get another wide receiver in round 3, and all these running backs are the same for me. So we're going to go with our usual approach, wide receiver, running back. Carson says tough spot. I think most people would say to go ahead and take Mahomes. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and get Smith and then probably take Derrick Henry on the way back around. I mean, whoever falls. Dog says he would have taken Smith. I mean, hell, we almost had Josh Allen to make it back. If it was only Mahomes and Josh Allen went before, I probably would have taken Patrick Mahomes, but I wanted to go a little risky there and see if we had the ability to get Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes falling, because it only took one of those teams deciding that they didn't want an elite level quarterback, and we would have had them falling. So we'll grab Derrick Henry here. It's an interesting spot to be in, right? I mean, there's so many different nuances. I feel like we have been getting lucky with some of the quarterback values that we can get falling later to us. A big thing is, like, when you're seeing both Mahomes and Josh Allen be available, it's like we know one of those teams is probably going to take one of those guys. It's just, do they both take the elite level quarterback? Very, very rarely will you see a team decide to take both Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen there. If you take both of those guys, you pretty much have no shot to win. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they both take quarterbacks. I'm fine grabbing Derrick Henry in the 3rd round, especially in a half PPR format. Scott says Smith is a good pick. Henry there is so juicy. Wait for what says, why is Henry falling so far? He dominated in 2022. I mean, Derrick Henry's going to go in round 3 in every single one of these underdog drafts. I've taken a lot of Derrick Henry round 3. I'll tell you exactly how much round 3 Derrick Henry have taken, but I don't want to sit here and act like it's the best pick in the world, because there are red flags. It's not like it's just the easiest situation to be in, because if you're looking at Derrick Henry, this is going to be a very bad offense this next season. Not only is this going to be a very bad offense this next year in Tennessee, but at the same time, the man is now pushing 30. And on top of this, this is a running back that, I mean, generally is not a great pass catcher. Now, I am shocked to see how much Derrick Henry I've drafted. I've drafted 16% Derrick Henry. 16%. But yeah, Jeep Guy, you just can't enter a draft contest in Montana. You can enter a draft contest in any of those other states, but it doesn't matter like where you signed up. If you signed up in state X and then you drive back to Montana and try to get in a draft, you're not going to be able to, like, Underdog obviously all above board and everything. So they have to apply with so many different regulations. So the second that you cross like the Montana border and you go like inner draft in Montana, it's not going to let you, my friend. Okay. Gallo says, couldn't touch Henry. So worried about that Tennessee offense and the age. I mean, that's what we were saying. Like, there are very real concerns and very real red flags with Derrick Henry. Now, at the same time, it's pretty much been 3 years in a row of 120 total yards a game. So he has still been crushing it, but it's hard to sit here and act like he has no red flags. Okay, so Jahmyr Gibbs goes. Christian Watson goes. Y'all know Christian Watson was someone that we were targeting at the 4-5 turn in every draft. Now you never get him there. Now Christian Watson always goes before. So let's see if ER7 Romo decides to go with Joe Burrow here. He did not take Higgins. So who took Higgins? Tommy Knows took Higgins and took Christian Watson instead. So we're going to pass on Joe Burrow. What's very interesting is looking at what's going to happen here with Gallows, who took Jamar Chase at 2, ended up getting Patrick Mahomes falling to him in the late second round. So he decides to pass on Joe Burrow here. I'm interested to know if he takes Burrow at pick 50. You have Chase, but obviously when you have Mahomes to invest into the quarterback position in both round 2 and round 5 would be, I mean, a lot to say the least. But Burrow is about 10 picks past ADP at this point. You do have the stack. The question is, would we ever take Joe Burrow here? The issue in taking Joe Burrow, we don't have Chase. Oh, he goes Burrow. Oh my gosh. So if he goes Joe Burrow, what we're actually probably going to see in this draft is we're probably going to see quarterbacks slide up a bit. Because if we have one team here taking the combo of both Joe Burrow as well as Patrick Mahomes, that's just going to take one of the elite level quarterbacks from the other teams. And I think naturally you're probably going to see people decide to reach on these guys a little bit each round. So we're going to take Justin Herbert to pair up with Mike Williams here. I mean, that's the easy call for us once we see the Joe Burrow selection and just how this draft board's probably going to play out from here. What's interesting is, I mean, what would have been interesting is the decision we would have made if he would have passed on Joe Burrow at pick 50. If he would have passed on Burrow at 50, pick 51, I feel like, honestly, knowing myself, and if we got 11 rounds of ADP value on Burrow, I probably would have pulled the trigger and I probably would have taken Joe Burrow and then been in a position really hoping that we could get Tyler Boyd later on, because the issue is you're just never getting Joe Mixon at pick 70 anymore. I wonder if ER7 also played that. Tommy Knows played that situation out in his mind. Kind of looking at this turn going, well, the Jamar Chase team took Patrick Mahomes, so maybe we can even pass on Joe Burrow and instead grab Christian Watson and get Joe Burrow on the way back around at pick 53. I wonder if that was their thought process. Obviously it didn't work out, but still, I mean, you'd understand why someone would have thought it. Outloopy said he would have taken Burrow as well. Okay. Mike says, I feel like Burrow's going to have an MVP type season. Let me look up the updated MVP odds that you have right now. Okay. NFL VP odds. Okay. So right now you have Mahomes plus 700. You have Burrow plus, you can get him up to 750. You can get Josh Allen up to 750. Jalen Hurts 1,200. Herbert 1,500. Lawrence 1,600. Rodgers Lamar 1,800. Tua 2,200. Dak 2,500. Fields 2,500. Oh, talk about lighting money on fire. Watson 4,000. Tied with Goff. Trey Lance plus 5,000. Ooh, interesting. Don't tease me. Reality, if we were having to like go for something here, I feel like Jalen Hurts 12-1 is pretty damn good, right? I'm probably just a fish to think that. I'd never make a bet like that. But Lawrence falls to pick 67, so maybe our idea of quarterbacks falling was just completely off base. Okay. Dalvin goes. So Dalvin off the board. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to take a wide receiver. I mean, just can't have too many wide receivers in best ball, of course. Steve says Charlie Jones 300 to 1. Book it. Book it. Tommy No says I was playing chicken with Burrow. I lost. I kind of like the balls to go for it. I mean, if Burrow would have made it back to you in round 5, it would have been just the craziest start to a team in all of best ball mania. So you got to respect it. I wonder if Gallus decides to go ahead and pull the trigger on Kadarius Toney here. I don't know if I would take Toney with my team, but I feel like if you have Mahomes, maybe you do. Fried rice goes Pickens. Maybe we see an Addison selection here to pair up with Jefferson and then a double stack with Cousins a little later on. But nope, we get Darren Waller instead. So let's see. Gallus has Mahomes quarterback with Burrow, running back Jacobs, wide receiver Chase, London, Deontay. Goes Kadarius Toney to stack up. Probably going to take Jordan Addison here. I mean, you're seeing Jordan Addison go higher and higher in these drafts where I think getting him at pick 75 now does represent value on ADP. I think we'll be able to find running backs that we like a little later on. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll take Jordan Addison. And right now, quarterback, we have Justin Herbert paired up with Mike Williams. Running back, we have Derrick Henry. Wide receiver, we have Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, and Jordan Addison. Okay. Mark Word says, any updates on the Dalmatian draft? I'm kind of milking the clock in that one draft I'm in, my friend. Not going to lie to you. Akers goes 80. Gabe Davis goes 81. So at this point, clearly we want running backs falling back to us. I mean, we only have one guy through the first 7 rounds here. I'm assuming that we get a run on wide receiver. I mean, really, round 7, round 8 is like the last time there were any interesting wide receivers in my mind. Of course, I could be wrong with that. Eric says, McAfee and Mason are coworkers. Crazy. I know. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? What I don't understand, where's Pat McAfee in my DMs going, hey, man, you know what? I don't have a guy to talk about fantasy football. We need our fantasy football corner. That's what we need. All right? Hayes ID says, when are we going to get a stream from the Stairmaster for the Underdog Cardio Club? I have thought about this. Please let me know if anybody has any experience with this. How are like desk treadmills? Like, is there like a treadmill that I could buy that just goes under my desk and I can just sit here and like walk as I work? Because I feel like, of course, it's all in theory. Maybe I get it. In reality, it's a piece of crap and I never use it. But in theory, if I'm sitting here at this desk for like 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and if I'm just walking at like a slow little pace, maybe a little incline, I don't know. Okay. People are telling us to get a pedal bike desk thing. I think says a couple of my coworkers have them. Mike says he has a stair stepper for work. Like a full-blown Stairmaster. I did look up to get a Stairmaster for my new place, but the issue was I'm pretty sure they were like $3,000 if I remember correctly. Speedy says, yeah, I have one in my office at home and it's amazing. I may need to go. Is it just like a regular treadmill that you can just throw under your desk? Like it's treadmill with no arms? Or do you have to specifically buy like a desk for it? Because I would need a pretty heavy duty desk. Like I have a bunch of monitors, obviously microphone, camera. Okay. So Quentin Johnson goes, I would have loved to add Johnston onto this team and get the double stack between Mike Williams, Quentin Johnson, and Justin Herbert. Just unrealistic to assume that we can pull that off. Evan Ingram goes pick 90, James Conner 91. Anthony Richardson has been falling. I believe his ADP a couple days ago was pick 84, but I had noticed, I mean, hell, I got him pick 100 in another draft. Now you're seeing him go down here at 93. We'll go ahead and we'll take David Montgomery as our running back 2. Perfectly fine getting Montgomery at running back 2 here. I don't want to sit here and say he'll have the same exact season as Jamal Williams did last year, but nonetheless, I think it's a completely fair price point and we'll be happy to add him in. Now, we can look at adding Tua or Kirk Cousins here at pick 99. Tua would stack with Tyreek. Cousins would stack with Addison. It'll just depend on the other options that we have on the board. Okay. Dylan says, drop a like, guys. Yeah, if you have not done so already, go down there and drop a like on the live stream. But looking at this, looks like we have a ridiculous amount of people who've already hit that like button. So thank you so much, everyone. Okay, so Cousins is off the board at 96. So looks like Cousins no longer going to be in play for us. So we could definitely get Tua on the way back. I mean, if you're looking at this team has Mahomes, Burrow, so they really can't take Tua. Goes Frymuth. I'm not a big Flowers guy, but strictly based off of ADP, we'll go ahead. We'll take Zay Flowers here at pick 99, getting some extreme value on that. And honestly, we'll probably draft another wide receiver with this draft, but probably not another one for a very long time. I mean, I like that. I mean, let's go ahead and let's look at this. Wide receiver, we currently are sitting with Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers. Extremely strong wide receiver room. Running back, we have Derrick Henry. Quarterback, we have, and David Montgomery. And quarterback, we have Justin Herbert. So now at this point, we're really wanting to see a run on wide receivers. But we'll see. We'll see. Bateman, Elijah Moore, both off 101, 102. That's good for us. Devon A-Chain, 103. Jeep Guy says, any thoughts on doing a redraft league on your channel we can follow along with throughout the season? I did think about that. Getting a draft going with the experts on flockfantasy.com and trying to make it like, I don't know if y'all ever watched the show The League on FX. But there was a show about like a fantasy football league that was super, super good back in the day. I thought about trying to make a YouTube channel like that and create the league, but it's the Flock League. It just seems very difficult to do, if that makes sense. Gold Goose says, I love that show. Yeah, let me know. Can everybody let me know in the chat, did you watch The League on FX? I believe it was on FX. But Tesla says that'd be fire. I think it would be, but the issue is everybody is so busy during the season. Like to go through and specifically make content for that. And then also I'd probably have to hire an editor just for that channel. Yeah. Dylan says best show ever. It was really good. Robbie says for sure still watches sometimes. What's funny is my girlfriend actually watched The League. I mean, before we even dated. And she knows literally nothing about football. She maybe doesn't even know who Tom Brady is. That's an exaggeration, but she'd have no idea who Bijan Robinson is, you know. But Jacoby Myers goes 108. Odell Beckham Jr. off 107. Let's swing this around. So let's get Sutton off the board. What are we doing here? Let's pick 109. Sutton ADP 95 still available. Guys, did you not hear Russell Wilson's going over to Denver? That means Cortland Sutton's the next Cooper Kupp. Did y'all not hear? Well, do I need to fill you in? Aiden says hilarious show. Definitely. Jeffrey says Chalupa Batman. Okay. Juju Smith-Schuster, 111. Goff, 110. Speedy says, same. My wife, girlfriend at the time, knows nothing about football, but liked the show even more than I did. The show's so good. What made that show good is knowing that it was like loosely scripted. Like it wasn't a scripted show. Like half of it was just improv. And I do stand by that. I think Rafi in that show was the funniest TV character of any show of all time. Like, it doesn't matter if it was a fantasy football show. I can't think of another character on any show that just everything he would do would legitimately just make me laugh. B-Dub says used to be on Netflix back in the day. Yeah, that's when I watched it, when it was on Netflix back in probably like 2017 when I watched it. Eric says Rafi Bomb. Okay. And Njoku goes 113. I'd have been excited about having David Njoku make it back to us. It is what it is. Can't sit here and cry about it. Darnell Mooney goes 114. That is a first. I don't know if I've seen Mooney go before Cortland Sutton before. Cortland Sutton goes 115. Herbert 116. ER7 takes our guy, takes A.J. Dillon from us now. Oh, that sucks. That's painful. We'll take Rashad Penny. I mean, we are really hoping that we are going to get A.J. Dillon there. Rashad Penny, still decent. Maybe we get some random spike weeks. I mean, it is about 4 or 5 picks past ADP, so we get a little value. But yeah, we are really hoping instead that we are going to be able to get A.J. Dillon. Okay, now let's think. So, best running back available for us would be Elijah Mitchell. Geno Smith, we do have the ability to stack with Tyler Lockett. We're probably going to go ahead. We're probably going to take Geno Smith here. I like Elijah Mitchell. But if we take Geno Smith, we have the ability to potentially only have to draft 2 quarterbacks in this league. We can take a third if we really like the value of one. But yeah, let's do this. Okay, Adam Thielen, 122. We'll take Geno Smith here at pick 123. We're getting about 11 picks of ADP value. He does stack with Tyler Lockett for us. So far at quarterback, we have Justin Herbert, Geno Smith. Running back, we have Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, and Rashad Penny. And then our strength is at wide receiver with Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison, and Zay Flowers. Okay. So hopefully we see some quarterbacks go, and hopefully we see some wide receivers go. But we have a donation coming out from Matt. Thank you so much, my man. It says, had a draft the other day that was so good, I think I'm done. Picking from 3, we got Kupp, Olave, Allen in the 3rd, Najee in the 4th, Kittle in the 5th. What's your opinion on filling these drafts? I mean, filling these drafts versus drafting until a good team. It really depends on your personal stance. I don't necessarily think it's a good thought process saying I'm going to draft a team until I think I drafted one that can win it. Because in reality, whatever team wins it will be one that you never expected to, right? So I don't like that mentality. I think a better mentality to have is, well, for me, it's a little bit different because this is my job, of course. So I'm going to be able to go through and draft 700 of these teams this offseason. I think a better mentality to have would possibly be, okay, like, I want to spend $100 on underdog drafts this year. I think they're a lot of fun. Let me put aside $100 and let me go through and draft with that, if that makes sense. It's very difficult for me to like advise someone like when to stop drafting or not. I definitely don't like the idea of saying this team's good, so I'm going to stop drafting then. I don't really follow that logic too much. I more so like the idea of saying I have a lot of fun drafting underdog teams. Let me set aside $40 this year to draft underdog teams with. And then I'm going to do 8 puppy drafts, or I'm going to do 1 best ball mania and 3 puppies and break it down that way. I'm sorry if that's a bad answer, my friend. I just don't know a good answer to that question. Okay, so Nico Collins off the board, 137. Roshan goes 138. Zay Jones, 139. Okay, Love goes, good for us. We weren't really going to consider Love here. We had no reason to take him. Alec Pierce goes, we'll take Miller. I mean, it is what it is. A rookie running back that maybe does something. Obviously, crowded backfield with both Kamara as well as Jamal Williams, but a running back that does have the size to be a 3-down player. The issue is he's not going to catch the ball out of the backfield. Okay. Osborne goes, and DJ Chark. We weren't looking at those guys, so we're fine. I'm essentially probably just going to be taking whatever tight end falls between Cole Kmet or Greg Dulcich here. I'd assume Fried Rice maybe doesn't take a tight end. They already have 2. I'd assume Gallows, if they do take a tight end, they probably go Irv Smith Jr. to pair up with Burrow, but I could be wrong, of course. No, they go Dulcich, so we are going to grab Cole Kmet here at pick 147. We're still probably going to take 3 tight ends with this build. I mean, when we wait until the 13th round to get our first guy, I think you probably need to be taking 3 tight ends. One thing that I do want to highlight with Cole Kmet is this is a player that was not good this past season from a fantasy football perspective if you're looking at raw points. But if you look at the underlying market share numbers, Cole Kmet was actually relatively decent for how young he was this past year. The primary issue that you had from Cole Kmet in this offense is the Chicago Bears were the worst passing offense that you had in the NFL legitimately since, I believe, 2010. So like 13 years. So even if you went out there and had good market share numbers, because the passing volume was so low, Cole Kmet just gave you absolutely nothing. This next season should be a little bit better on the front of Cole Kmet. But we have MVS, Jaden Reed, Tank Bigsby all going off the board. One big thing that I think could hurt us a bit if we decided to, continue to draft these New Orleans Saints running backs a decent amount, because I'm completely fine drafting Alvin Kamara in round, I believe he goes, 9, right? Yeah, I'm completely fine drafting Alvin Kamara in round 9. I'm completely fine drafting Miller at the end of round 12. I haven't been drafting a lot of Jamal, if I'm going to be honest with you. But one thing that could swing if these running backs are great values or if these running backs are horrible picks is the involvement of Taysom Hill this next year. If Taysom Hill comes out and repeats as a player that's going to be vulturing touchdowns at the goal line, then yeah, you're probably in a world of pain going through and drafting these running backs where they're going. But if Taysom Hill possibly takes a step back and those touchdowns that were to go to Taysom Hill instead go to the running backs in this backfield, I think that you could actually find a couple decent values in New Orleans with both Miller and Kamara. Okay. Jeff Wilson off the board, 157. Laporta goes. We need a tight end. Laporta is not someone I'm really ever drafting, though. I'm just not drafting rookie tight ends. Trey Lance, 159. If Lance would have made it back to us, I definitely would have taken him. It's just harder to get him on these live streams than in the public lobby. Okay. So we're definitely going to be drafting 3 tight ends. We probably stop at 5 RBs. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Best Ball Mania. So it's a massive field here. Wandell goes 162. Doc says, what do we think about Logan Thomas in round 18 when stacking Washington? My friend, I didn't even know Logan Thomas was still playing. We're going to go ahead. We're going to grab Tyler Algier. Obviously, he is just a handcuff running back. But getting just a handcuff running back at pick 166, I'm completely fine with. Especially when we saw what his ceiling was at the end of this last season. So, yeah, that's an easy pick for me. Okay, so we're probably done at running back after having Algier. Here's our 5th guy. We probably take Gerald Everett to get the double stack with Justin Herbert. Juwan Johnson's going to be the backup to that. So we're definitely going to take a tight end here. It just comes down to, are we grabbing Everett or Juwan Johnson? Gallo says he wanted Algier. Yeah, I felt like just Tyler Algier is a strong value in this range. So Curtis Samuel off the board, 168. Chew Bubbard, 169. Doc 79 says he's playing and will be super low. And clearly he's going to be super low. And my friend, that's just a thought that would never cross my mind. So how old is Logan Thomas at this point? Let me pull it up. Logan Thomas, just such an interesting career. I would love to get a documentary on Logan Thomas. Okay. Let me see how old this man is. Juwan Johnson finally off the board, 174. Logan Thomas going to turn 32, but same age, younger than Taysom Hill, right? Okay. Now we have Marvin Mims going off the board, 175. John Mechie, 173. Josh Downs, 172. Sam Howell goes pretty damn early here. Well, what does the quarterback situation look like? So quarterback, you have Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, Desmond Ridder. So you just have the guys that are like iffy on if they're going to get drafted or not left. Interesting to see Sam Howell go there at 176. I don't know if we've seen Sam Howell go that early in a long, long time. Real quick, if you have not done so already, please go down there, drop a like on this live stream. I know this isn't the usual time we stream, but I definitely would appreciate it. Okay, so Taysom goes 179. We were needing another tight ends. And let me know, what time would y'all prefer us live streaming? Because obviously we're going to do an underdog draft every single day until the season starts. And we're going to start picking them up and doing like 3 to 4 a day once we get closer to the year. But let me know if y'all prefer us doing it a little later around this time, or do you like it when we do it more so around like 4 to 5 p.m. Central? And of course, if you want to get our next draft on Underdog Fantasy, you can find the link in the live chat. You can find it in the description. Sign up with promo code FLOCK to get a 100% deposit match and get our 2023 rankings. And if you're a member of flockfantasy.com and Underdog Fantasy and use promo code FLOCK on Underdog, then make sure you are reaching out to me to get that free shirt. You can find the Google form in the Discord. Okay. Nathan says 4 to 5. Dylan says anytime past 5. Matt says 7:30 is nice. I work nights and would love to catch a few. I would love to know this about y'all. Can y'all let me know what your drops are? I am just very interested, like, to know, like, what the average person watching our videos does, because I feel like we probably have some people that do a wide range of jobs. Obviously, mine's a little weird, but Cameron says 10-team Superflex traded Mingo and a future first for Tyreek Hill to push me over the top. How do you feel about the trade with Tyreek Hill saying he'll retire at the end of the contract? Not too worried about hearing what Tyreek Hill is saying. I mean, it's more so, are you a true contender? If you are a true contender and this makes you win, the deal is worth it. If you are lying to yourself and you're not a true contender, then it's a tough spot. Lux says manufacturing. Daniel says, I'm a professional Flock fantasy watcher. We have forklift manufacturer, pizza cook. I cooked pizzas for a time and delivered pizzas for a time. Loved it. Okay, real quick. What are we doing here? We'll grab a wide receiver. We will take Van Jefferson as probably our last wide receiver. Engineering, accountant, sales, land surveyor. Interesting. Sales, customer support, WFH compensation for lawyers. I don't know what that means. Med school, Air Force, cybersecurity, network analyst, UPS driver, uni unit, firefighter, paramedic, the accountant, computer science, marketing, college, neuro pre-med. I was neuro pre-med for a minute, my man. FinTech, healthcare administration, Air Force safety, college, forklift, loading semi-trucks with strawberries and other fruit. Oh, interesting. Warehouse, structural engineer. Oh, this is cool, guys. I love seeing all this. April says claims analyst. I know another person in the fantasy football industry that's claims analyst. ER7 says stay-at-home husband. The dream, my man, the dream. Okay, so what are we doing here? We need another tight end, definitely. So we'll just take one before we forget. Do we want Hurst? Do we want Everett? Oh, take Hayden Hurst. I think I'd rather, Hayden Hurst or Mike Gesicki. We already took Gerald Everett. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Hurst over Everett. Okay. And then our last pick, I don't know what to do. Oh, this is a question. I have, Dylan says, counting on quitting after winning Best Ball Mania. Let me know, y'all, your answer to this. I mean, this is something that I answered on the live stream yesterday. Obviously, I feel like I have the dream job in the world, so maybe my situation's a little unique. I would not quit if I won $3 million on Best Ball Mania. But hypothetical, right? You win $3 million in Best Ball Mania. do you quit your job? I just want yes or no answers. Yes or no answers in the chat. I want to see like the split of people who are. Chad says aspiring arm wrestler. Cool. Okay. Jeep guy says he quits. Yes, no, no. Yep, yes, yes, nope, nope, nope. Yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, no. Daniel says he quit yesterday. Yeah, hasn't even won Best Ball Mania yet. I guess he drafted a real good team. No, 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 yes, no, no. Noah, happy to see you out here, my man. No. Yes, yes, no, no, yes, no. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of split 50-50. My answer to it was I definitely would not quit, but I would work less. Mark Word says 3 million only goes so far when you have 3 kids. Oh dear God, if this is true, I want kids. Maybe I have to reevaluate. Dear God. Okay. Now we have Michael Wilson going off the board, 206. Okay, what are we wanting to do here? Do we go with another wide receiver? Do we go with the... I feel like we can do anything we want, to be honest with you. Is James Robinson still... I shouldn't have said that out loud, right? Levis goes 210. I like mixing in Will Levis every once in a while in these drafts. Not someone that's going to be drafted all the time. Noah says, use that $3 million to make you more money. I mean, yeah, if you put $3 million right now into T-bills, you're getting 4%. It's 4% a year off $3 million. Looking at what, like 120,000? Or am I way off? I think I'm correct there. Okay. Jeep guy says, Mason, let's say NFL reaches out to you to commentate full time. You take that. Details would matter greatly. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here in the last round. I'm probably going to reach. I'm going to take James Robinson. Player not really being drafted in all these. I don't know the correct thing to do, but that's what we are going to do. But thank you again, guys. Really appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. And as always, we'll be live tomorrow. And if you want to get in our draft tomorrow, make sure you go sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code FLOCK. You can find that link in the live chat and the description and the comment section. When you sign up with promo code FLOCK, you get a 100% deposit match plus all our rankings and everything. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Really do appreciate y'all and really hope that you have a great night.